Hare Krishna. Let's begin our session with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Hare Krishna. So welcome back to all of you. We are doing the 55th verse of chapter 11, Adhyay 11, 55 श्लोक ये हम कर रहे हैं. And Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport that this shloka is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita का सार है. So that's why we are trying to do it a little more elaborately than what we do for other shlokas. Just to take a recap on what the shloka is. So we are basically talking about the 5-point formula that Lord himself gives by which we can go back to Krishna, where we can get connected back to Krishna. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangavarjitaha, nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu ya samam eti pandava. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangavarjitaha, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu ya samam eti pandava. Krishna is assuring that person who follows this 5-point formula, ये जो 5 चीजें अगर कोई भक्त फॉलो करेगा तो वो मेरे पास आएगा. And yesterday we completed the first part of it, mat karma kran. So we'll start with the second part of it, mat paramo today. So we had left off at this point where we had learnt how Krishna can be very easily pleased simply by offering him patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati, and Krishna accepts. तो जो भी भक्त उनको पत्र पुष्प फल या पानी या दूध का पदार्थ कृष्ण को भक्ति से अर्पण करते हैं तो उसको कृष्ण स्वीकार करते हैं. And the requirement is it must be offered with तुलसी लीफ. तो एक तुलसी पत्ता डाल के भक्ति से जब हम कोई भी पदार्थ, again it's a controversial thing when I say कोई भी पदार्थ, those things that Krishna has said you can offer, वैसे पदार्थ जिसको कृष्णा ने अनुमति दिया है कि हम उसको भोग चढ़ा सकते हैं, वैसे वस्तु को हम जब कृष्ण भगवान को भोग चढ़ाएंगे तो वो भक्ति से जब हम चढ़ाएंगे वो हमारा भेंट को स्वीकार करेंगे. So even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. तो कृष्ण भक्ति बहुत ही मुश्किल काम नहीं है. पहले तो कलयुग में हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, ये मंत्र जपा करना है. दिस इज युगा धर्म. और जो भी हमें अर्पण करना है, सात्विक वस्तुएं, सात्विक चीजें, उसको भक्ति से अर्पण करना है. So it's a simple process, and Krishna is not asking for elaborate things. Krishna is not asking for costly gifts. He प्रेम की पुजारी है और प्रेम का भूखा है. Of course, Krishna is Atma Rama. He doesn't require anything. But just like a father, although he can live without a son's love, but if the son loves him, he will feel so good. And a father is always hankering for his son's love. Doesn't mean that he's missing out on anything. It's natural. So going further, today we'll discuss few more of the points. Mat paramaha. What is the meaning of mat paramaha? Mat paramaha का ये तात्पर्य क्या है, ये हम देखेंगे. The word mat parama refers to one who considers association of Krishna in his supreme abode to be the highest. तो मत परमा मतलब अगर कोई भक्त ये मान लेगा और जान लेगा कि भगवान के सानिध्य में, भगवान के संपर्क में रहना हम एक जीव का सर्वोत्तम लक्ष्य होना चाहिए, और सर्वोत्तम क्या बोलते स्थान है, इट्स अ परफेक्शन ऑफ लाइफ, जीवन की या हमारे अस्तित्व का परिपूर्णता है. जब कोई भक्त ये जान लेगा दैट द वर्ड यूज्ड इज मत परमः, considers Krishna as everything, is the topmost priority. Like even in the material world, many success coaches tell us that we must prioritize and we must act according to our priorities. So a devotee knows what his topmost priority is. Topmost priority is to become perfect in his existence, life, तो परिपूर्णता जीवन का पाना. And what is that? To associate with Krishna in his abode. गोलोका में गोलोकपति के साथ रह के उनका भक्तिमय सेवा करना. This is the ultimate goal. This should be the ultimate goal of any devotee, and this is the perfection of life. Such a person does not wish to be elevated to the higher planets, such as moon, sun or heavenly planets. तो भक्त कभी स्वर्ग जाना, चंद्रलोक, सूर्यलोक जाना ये अपना लक्ष्य नहीं बनाएगा. See, now again, there is a certain sect of religion जहाँ पे जन्नत पे जाना, heavenly abode पे जाना is the primary goal for them. Of course, now when confronted, they say that Jannat means abode of Lord, Eden, Garden of Eden, which is the abode of Lord. Generally, it is depicted as heaven. Anyway, we will not get into that. So, or even to the highest planet of the universe, Brahmaloka, is Brahmanda mein, we are talking of material world. Bhautik Jagat में सर्व उच्चतमम लोक है ब्रह्मलोका, and Brahma is the topmost living entity. ब्रह्मा जी सबसे टॉप में रहने वाले जीव हैं. And Brahma is also a jiva. He lives in the material world. So he has no attraction for that. भक्त को इन लोकों में अट्रैक्शन नहीं है, उनको केवल गोलोक वृंदावन पे आकर्षित होते हैं. He is only attracted to being transferred to the spiritual kai. वैकुंठ लोक जाना उनका उद्देश्य है. And even in the spiritual sky, he is not satisfied by merging into glowing Brahma Jyoti effulgence. The start of the spiritual sky is the Brahma Jyoti effulgence. तो जहाँ पे ब्रह्म ज्योति जो प्रकाश है, वहां से आध्यात्मिक लोक प्रारंभ होता है. बट इवन मर्जिंग इन ब्रह्म ज्योति से सम्मिलित होना भी भक्त को संतृप्ति नहीं देता. For he wants to enter the highest spiritual planet, that is Krishna Loka. Bhakta Hamesha is looking for the best. He is looking for the best of all the existential lokas, that is Krishna Loka, Goloka. So Vrindavana. He has full knowledge of that planet. Tattvataha. When you say Lord, when you say that some devotee knows about the Lord Tattvataha, he knows everything about the Lord, including his abode. जब हम बोलते हैं तत्वतः एक भक्त कृष्णा को जानता है, तो इसका मतलब है वो कृष्णा के बारे में सब कुछ जानता है, इंक्लूडिंग हिज निवास. So as indicated by the word mad bhaktaha, which is the next item, he fully engages in devotional service. गोलोक गया के क्या करना है? So that we must know. What this is the main difference between people who go to Vaikuntha planets and people who merge in Brahma Jyoti. When they merge in Brahma Jyoti, they are having no more activity, because of which they also tend to fall down. I was listening to a reel today on Instagram, where Prabhupada was asked a question, will somebody fall down if he is situated in Brahma Jyoti? So Prabhupada answers this question, definitely he will fall down, he is surely going to fall down. तो तो ये तय है कि वो फिर वापस he'll come back and into the material world and do some higher activities. But his spiritual journey is not completed. तो अगर कोई ब्रह्म ज्योति में लीन होना चाहता है तो भगवद गीता इज टेलिंग, प्रभुपाद इज वेरी कैटेगोरिकली टेलिंग कि वो उनका पतन होगा. दैट मीन्स दे आर गोइंग टू कम बैक इनटू दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. वो इस भौतिक जगत में वापस आएंगे. हरे कृष्ण. हरे कृष्ण. Moving further, Mat Bhaktaha, he fully engages in devotional service. Bhakta, what is the meaning of Bhakta? It's not simply a designation. Bhakta means what activity he does. One who does activities in relation to Krishna, he is Bhakta. So, especially to the 9 processes of devotional service, Navavidha Bhakti. What are these 9 processes of devotional service? Hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering prayers, then carrying out the orders, making friends with the Lord, surrendering everything to Him. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Atmanivedanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. ये नवविधा भक्ति है. इनमें से कोई भी प्रोसेस हम अपना सकते हैं और भगवान से हमारा रिलेशन हम बढ़ा सकते हैं. With any of these processes or all of these processes, like Amrish Maharaj, he followed all of this and he then went back to the Lord. He was a pure devotee and he made sure that every part of his body was always constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. अम्बरीश महाराज अपने देह का सर्वांग भगवान की सेवा में लगाते थे. उनके पास जो भी पदार्थ है, उनका पास जो भी परिवार है, सारे रिलेशंस को भी उन्होंने भक्ति सेवा में भगवान को अर्पण किया था. So one can engage in all 9 devotional processes or 8 or 7 or even 1. And that one, basic one, can be simply chant and hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By that simple process of chanting and hearing Hare Krishna mantra, chant audibly and distinctly and hear attentively. By doing this, one can go back to Krishna. Easier said than done, because then what will we do? Are we having capacity to chant 24 hours a day like Haridas Thakur? No, we do not have. So Prabhupada has given us various items of bhakti. तो 2 घंटे आप चैंटिंग कीजिए 16 माला. फिर उस तत्पश्चात Prabhupada has given a program, a morning program, and then there is a devotional program for the entire day. So like this, Prabhupada has balanced it out for us. He has included all the elements. He has added variety in bhakti. Otherwise, simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so somebody's spiritual journey can become successful. But since we do not have that capacity to chant 24 hours a day, at least most of us don't have, Prabhupada has given us this Pancharatrika Vidhi, Bhagavati Vidhi and Pancharatrika Vidhi. So the term Sanghavarjita, the next item, Sanghavarjita. What is this Sanghavarjita? One should dissociate himself from persons who are against Krishna. तो जो भी कृष्ण भगवान के खिलाफ हैं या कृष्ण भगवान के मतलब बारे में इंटरेस्ट नहीं रखते हैं, उनके संपर्क में उनके संपर्क से हमें दूर जाना है, चाहे वो हमारे रिश्तेदार हो, कोई भी करीबी रिश्तेदार क्यों ना हो. Of course, in the material world, some worldly duties we'll have to continue to do till we ourselves become fixed in devotional service. Tad Paschat we can automatically Krishna will make arrangements for all the detachments to happen. तो उसके जैसे कि जब सूर्य उगता है अंधकार अपने आप मिट जाता है. Similarly, when we start serving the Lord devotionally, then those items which become obstacles, जो भी ऐसे कार्य जिससे हम कृष्णा से दूर जा सकते हैं, कृष्णा ऐसे सारे कार्यों को he will start winding it up for us. So not only are the atheistic persons against Krishna, but also those who are attached to fruitive activities and mental speculation. That means anybody who is not a devotee. Somebody might be a very nice person. ये किसी को मतलब हानि नहीं पहुंचाता है, संत आदमी है, गाय की तरह है, लेकिन कृष्णा का भक्त नहीं है. So even such a person should be avoided, because slowly he will start us making us attract, do what he is doing, do charitable activities without Krishna in the center, do good, open hospitals without Krishna in the center. So that becomes now a materialistic activity. भौतिक कार्य हो जाएगा. फिर उसके लिए हमें इसी भौतिक जगत में रहना पड़ेगा. सत्व गुण में भी अगर कोई काम कर रहा है, सत्व गुण is one of the three modes of material nature. So he will have to remain in this material world. Shuddha sattva is what we have to cultivate. That is pure devotional service is what we have to aim for, so that our punya and papa, we don't have balance of either punya or papa materialistically, and we acquire all spiritual credits, आध्यात्मिक पॉइंट्स हम गेन करके कृष्ण भगवान के पास जा सकते हैं. So therefore the pure form of devotional service is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami ने Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion लिखा है हमारे लिए, and Prabhupada has translated it. It is considered as the devotional manual of our movement. हमारे इस मूवमेंट के, जैसे कि हर चीज के साथ एक मैनुअल आता है, लेकिन लाइफ के साथ मैनुअल नहीं आता है. विद्याभ्यास से हम सीख सकते हैं, बट भक्ति का मैनुअल भक्ति रसामृता सिंधु, which contains elements of abhidheya, that is how we have to conduct ourselves in bhakti. So anyabhilashita shunyam, he must not aspire for anything else except Krishna and his service. ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम, ज्ञान और कर्म के मिश्रण भक्ति नहीं होना चाहिए, मस्ट बी शुद्ध भक्ति. अनुकूलेन कृष्णानुशीलनम, तो जैसे सहूलियत हो, फैसिलिटी है, जितना क्षमता है, और जो कार्य से कृष्ण के करीब कोई जा सकता है वो कार्य करते रहने से what happens, bhakti ruttama, this is the highest type of devotion. Bhakti ruchyate, there is one definition. What is bhakti? Bhakti ruttama, in that what is the top class, first class bhakti? First class bhakti is anyabhilashita shunyam, gnana karmadi anavrutam. Avrutam means to get covered, anavrutam means not to be covered. Bhakti that is not covered by contamination of mundane knowledge and mundane activities. Anukulena Krishnanushīlanam, to worship Krishna favorably, then Bhakti Ruttama. This is topmost or highest type of bhakti. So if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, हेतु रहित भक्ति या शुद्ध भक्ति अगर कोई करना चाहता है, so then what is the process? He must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. So पाप रहित, anagha he must become. One of the names of Arjuna is Anagha. Krishna calls Arjuna in one place Anagha, means sinless one. So in order to begin our spiritual journey, we have to become, first of all, materially fully sinless. Then we can progress in Krishna Bhakti. Further, one should think of Krishna and act for Krishna favorably. So, अगर मुझे भक्ति में आगे बढ़ना है तो मुझे क्या करना है? तो कृष्ण भक्ति जो अनुकूल्य भक्ति है, उसमें मुझे आगे बढ़ना है. Going further, Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna. Kamsa, Krishna ka, what is called Drisha. So one of the names of Krishna is Kamsa Drisha. So Kamsa भी भगवान के बारे में 24 घंटे सोचता था. वो रात में सपने भी कृष्णा का ही देखता था. But can we call him as a devotee? No. That is not the symptom of devotee. वो भक्ति का लक्षण नहीं है. So just because you are thinking of Krishna doesn't mean that it is bhakti. It has to be anukulya, favorable. Then it is called as bhakti. Otherwise, it is not called as bhakti. So thus while working, eating, sleeping, he was always thinking of Krishna. Can we therefore call him as bhakta? No. So he was Krishna conscious in every respect, but it was not favorable Krishna consciousness. तो अनुकूल्य नहीं था, प्रतिकूल्य था. The pure devotee does not want even salvation. तो शुद्ध भक्त मोक्ष का भी अभिलाषा नहीं करता है. He does not want to be transferred even to the highest planet, Golok Vrindavan. तो सच्चा भक्त भगवान से मुझे आप गोलोक वृंदावन भी वापस ले जाओ, ये भी नहीं मांगता है. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. अगर अंतिम लक्ष्य भगवान की सेवा है, गोलोक में जाके भी करना है, तो भक्त जान लेता है कि कहीं पे भी हम भक्ति सेवा कर सकते हैं. So it doesn't mean that he should not go to Goloka. It's just that that is not what is in his mind. What is in his mind is what is this eternal constitutional position. So his eternal constitutional position is what? To serve the Lord. Jiver Swarup hoy Nityer Krishna Das is always eternally devotee of Krishna. Moving further. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. It's the next item. Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu. Nirvaira is not inimical. It's friendly to everyone. No exceptions here. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy. So the Goswamis, जो 6 गोस्वामी थे वृंदावन के, सारे व्रजवासिया, सारे उस समय के लोग उनको बहुत प्रिय थे. वो उनको प्यार करते थे और वे भी इन रिटर्न उनको बहुत प्यार देते थे. वो किसी से वैर नहीं करते थे. निर्मत्सरः. They had no enmity or enviousness to anyone. Further, how is this possible? ये कैसे हो सकता है? भौतिक जगत में भी रह के ये कैसे हो सकता है? कोई ना कोई तो रहेगा जो हमें डिस्ट्रैक्ट करने की कोशिश करेगा. So a devotee is situated in Krishna consciousness. He knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all problems of life. क्योंकि भक्त जानता है कि भौतिक विषयों में ज्यादा फंसने में कोई फायदा नहीं है. So he doesn't think of any other thing except performing his devotional service. He is very much concerned only with acting as a servant of Krishna. Krishna Bhakt, Krishna का दास बन के उसको रहना है. And he has personal experience of this and therefore he wants to introduce this system into human society. वो अपने जीवन में तो वो महसूस कर चुका है कि कैसे कृष्ण भक्ति से ही उसको सारे आतंक, चिंता, दुख से वो विमुक्त हो सकता है. तो जब वो इसको प्रैक्टिकली देख चुका है तो वो चाहता है कि वो ये जो कृष्ण भक्ति है, कृष्ण प्रज्ञा है, सबको बांटे. सो वेरी मर्सीफुली ही इज ऑलवेज प्रीचिंग टू अदर्स. आप हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा कीजिए, कृष्ण भक्ति कीजिए, मंदिर आइए, दर्शन कीजिए, सेवा कीजिए. सो दिस इज लक्षण, these are the symptoms of a devotee. And Prabhupada here mentions the favorite example, says that up to the extent that they even risk their lives to propagate God consciousness. तो कहीं पे भी जाएंगे और किसी से भी बात करेंगे, so निडर होके. So they don't care about their personal safety. All they want is to propagate the bhakti movement. So Prabhupada now brings out the favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ was a perfect devotee, and he wanted his followers also to be perfect devotee. Unfortunately, like in many other religions, including our movement, there are elements who are corrupt, scrupulous, and ingrained or instilled, injected uh, many false, uh, many false postulates in Krishna consciousness. So it is a part of material world. तो भौतिक जगत में तो ये तो होना है, खास तौर पे कलयुग, उसमें तो डबल पॉसिबिलिटीज है. So why is giving example of Jesus Christ? Because he even allowed himself to be crucified. The the ruler at that time and the people at that time, were trying to hurt him, and he was telling, "Oh Lord, please forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." This is the compassion of a devotee. Another example Prabhupada gives is Thakur Haridas. So Thakur Haridas जब जपा कर रहे थे तो कुछ एनवियस पीपल, ईर्ष्या जो रखते थे हरिदास ठाकुर के ऊपर, उन्होंने जाके कंप्लेन किया उस जमाने के बादशाह से. तो उन्होंने बोला ये मुसलमान है और ये धर्म परिवर्तन करके अब हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा कर रहा है, तो ये हमारे मजहब में इज नॉट फिट टू बी, and he is also spoiling the other culture. So the ruler calls Haridas Thakur and asks him to stop chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and it flatly refuses. He says that Krishna is my maintainer, तो मुझे किसी से डरने की जरूरत नहीं है और मैं हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा छोड़ नहीं सकता. So Haridas Thakur would chant 22 hours. 22 घंटे वो जपा करते थे दिन में. He also had 24 hours only like us. बाकी 2 घंटे में उनका निद्रा, खाना पीना, विसर्जन, ये सब होता था. सो therefore it's called नामाचार्य. चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने उनको डेसिग्नेशन दिया था नामाचार्य. परफेक्ट, was perfect in chanting of the holy names of Krishna, that is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He would chant around 192 rounds. हम 16 माला करने में थक जाते हैं, तो Haridas Thakur is chanting 192 rounds, 108 beats, 192 rounds every day. Every day he is doing it. So, and when he refused, he was told, if you refuse to stop chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then you'll be flogged in all the markets of this town. There were about 22 markets, 20 or 22 markets. He would say in all the markets you would be caned. या चाबुक से आपको मारा जाएगा जब तक आप ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि आप हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा करना बंद करेंगे. But Haridas Thakur never budged, and he always kept smiling, and he kept telling the Lord, these fools do not know what they are doing, O Lord. So similar to Jesus Christ, he never wished bad for the person who was hitting him, for the person who complained, and for the person who gave this punishment. तो बस कृष्ण भगवान के ऊपर अपना ध्यान करके हरे हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र जपा करते थे. So a Krishna consciousness person knows that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. हमारे सारे दुख और दारिद्र का कारण है कृष्ण भूलिया जीवा. So this material life that we have got, which is certified दुखालया, तो दुखालय में तो दुख ही आएगा और क्या आएगा. तो if we have to come out of it, if we have to go to Sukhalaya, then we must chant Hare Krishna mantra, become devotee of Krishna. So Haridas Thakur knew that by trying to resist or by trying to take retaliatory action, it is not going to solve his problem. क्योंकि जो भी उसके भाग्य में लिखा है वो आएगा. But then the question can be asked, how is that devotee is freed from all this conception of fortune, misfortune, because devotee is always fortunate. तो हरिदास ठाकुर को ये पनिशमेंट भुगतना क्यों पड़ा? So it is not always that क्यों हरिदास ठाकुर को ऐसी सजा मिली. 22 मार्केट प्लेसेस में उनको कोड़े पड़े. और खून बहने लगा शरीर के हर अंग से, फिर भी वो हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा नहीं छोड़े, क्योंकि उनको दृढ़ विश्वास था अगर उन्हें कोई बचा सकता है वो भगवान श्री कृष्णा ही बचा सकता है। और भगवान श्री कृष्णा का के साथ संपर्क रखने का आसान तरीका है हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जपा करना, टू चैंट हरे कृष्ण मंत्र। सो ही वॉज लुकिंग एट दी टॉप मोस्ट सोल्यूशन। सो और वो ये भी जानते थे कि ये सब कृष्णा को बोल चुके हैं, इसलिए ये सब ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे हैं। सो ही वॉज पिटिंग देम। सो So in such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. So the highest benefit one can render to human society is to relieve one's neighbor from all material problems. Start from charity first begins in the house. So our spiritual activities must begin with us, and we must preach to our family members. We must ensure that they are also chanting Hare Krishna mantra and engaging in devotional service. Then our neighborhood, our next door neighbor, that is how we must go from inside out. बड़े बड़े कार्य करना जरूरी नहीं है. In our own neighborhood, if we can make our neighborhood a Krishna conscious neighborhood, even if we make a few families, then we're actually pleasing the Lord. So we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. तो अगर कृष्णा हाथी और चींटी के लिए सारी व्यवस्था बना चुके हैं, तो अपने प्रिय भक्त का कैसे वो देखभाल करेंगे? So how is he going to take care? So it is very much understood. So in summary, what we are learning from the 11th chapter is the universal form of Krishna is a temporary manifestation. भगवान का विश्व रूप का जो दर्शन है, जो विश्व रूप है, वो एक तात्कालिक रूप है. इट इज नॉट एटर्नल फॉर्म. जब चाहिए भगवान उसको मैनिफेस्ट करते हैं. एंड द फॉर्म ऑफ टाइम विच डिवोर्स एवरीथिंग एंड इवन द फॉर्म ऑफ विष्णु, द 400 have all been exhibited by Krishna. तो विश्व रूप दर्शन के अलावा कृष्णा has exhibited that he is time. कृष्णा has also exhibited काला, जिससे वो सबका मृत्यु का कारण बनते हैं. So Arjuna is able to see all the people going into the mouths of death and being crushed. So death comes, Krishna comes as death. So he has seen that form of the Lord. He has also seen the Chaturbhuja Narayana Rupa. Krishna का वैकुंठ रूपा he has seen. तो भगवान की वैकुंठ चतुर्भुज रूप को भी उन्होंने देख लिया. So तो इससे हमें क्या conclusion? What is the conclusion that we can come? Krishna is able to show Vishnu form, Vishwarupa form, and his Kala form. All these forms are coming from Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is superior to Vishnu and Kala and Vishwarupa. So all these are, Krishna is the source of all of this. Krishna is source of all incarnations. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is a manifestation of original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. So original Vishnu is Krishna. Because Krishna is the original lamp. And from this lamp, many other lamps are lit. They are the Vishnu lamps. So for a devotee, but though there are hundreds and different thousands forms of Krishna, अलग अलग रूप है कृष्णा का. वैकुंठ में अनेक असंख्यात रूप है विष्णु का. एक लोक बेस्ड ऑन दी शंख चक्र गदा पद्मा, बेस्ड ऑन दैट पोजिशन. कोई लोक में शंख इस हैंड में है तो गदा इस हैंड में है, और पद्मा लोअर हैंड में है, और लोअर राइट हैंड में his hand chakra. So like this, when it keeps changing, there are different permutation combinations. हर एक लोक में एक एक तरीके का विष्णु रहते हैं और उनका अलग अलग नाम होता है. So you can see, imagine, even Vishnu forms are millions of Vishnu forms, millions of Vaikuntha lokas are there in the spiritual world. But there's only one Goloka, which is the topmost, plant. And that Goloka Vrindavana, Golokapati is Shyamasundara Krishna, who has two hands. So there are hundreds and thousands of Vishnu forms, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important, but the original two-handed Shyamasundara, Dvibhuja Shyamasundara ka roop, with the rupa that Arjuna is seeing in front of him always, that rupa. So how fortunate Arjuna was. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to Shyamasundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. तो जो भक्त अपने आंखों में प्रेम का अंजन डाल के भक्ति भाव से भक्ति के दृष्टि से देख रहे हैं, तो प्रेमांजन चुरित भक्ति विलोचनेना santa. So that person is santa, is a devotee. So what is happening with him? Sadhaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. So हमेशा वो हृदय में भगवान श्री कृष्ण का रूप देख सकते हैं. कैसे है कृष्ण का रूप? यम श्याम सुंदरम. So he is श्याम सुंदरा, द्विभुज नारायणा, द्विभुज मुरलीधरा, यम श्याम सुंदर अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम. और लेकिन द्विभुज नारायण का रूप है, श्याम सुंदर द्विभुज कृष्ण का रूप है, लेकिन उसका रूप का पूर्ण जो अर्थ है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वी विल नॉट हैव. अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम. सो स्वरूपम, so he is having a form, he is not nirakar. So Lord Krishna has got a form, God has got a form. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintyam Gunaswarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. ऐसे गोविंद जो आदि पुरुष है, आदि पुरुष, that from him everything else comes. तमहम बजामी, मैं उनको अपना हृदयपूर्वक नमन करता हूँ. I pay my obeisances. Who is saying this? Lord Brahma is telling this about Krishna. So, and where are the devotees always seeing the Lord? He is there within them. They are always able to see him within their heart. One should therefore understand that the purport of this 11th chapter is that form of Krishna is essential and supreme. तो इस 11वें अध्याय से हमें ये Krishna is trying to show us or trying to teach us that his form of Krishna is the eternal form. His form of Krishna is the original form. And his form of Krishna is the supreme form. So, Devottama Parama Purusha. That is, Prabhupada always says, supreme personality of Godhead. And it mentions in the purport, it is essential. Essential matlab, it is avashyak. So, it is not something that is like Vishwarupa, jab chahiye aayega. No, it is always present, eternally. Golokapati banke, he is even commanding the Vishnu forms in the Vaikuntha Loka and all the jivas in both spiritual world and material world. So, we've concluded the 11th chapter. We've just learned that Krishna is constitutionally supreme. Devottama hai, Parama Purusha hai, Purushottama hai. So, ऐसे भगवान की जब हम आराधना करते हैं, प्रेयर करते हैं, तो प्रेयर should be meant as a complement to prudent action, not as a replacement. हमारा कर्तव्य हमें निभाना है, भक्ति करना है और भगवान पे अवलंबित हमें होना है. So you must understand that some people tend to help you, some people pretend to help you, but there's only one person who can really help you, that is Shri Krishna. तो कुछ लोग आपकी मदद कर सकते हैं, कुछ लोग आपकी मदद करने की भास देते हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई आपकी मदद कर सकता है तो वो